Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for April 28th, 2021. Now, overall, man, this show, it was a good show. It was a good show to me. It was a really good show. I absolutely love the main event with Darby Allin and number 10 for the TNT Championship. That was a really great match. Probably one of the best matches on the show. A tag team match with the Young Bucks and the Sydal brothers. The Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. Their confrontation and the parlay. I love that too. The back and forth with the promos and stuff. I love that too. It wasn't it wasn't a perfect show. No show is perfect, but this was not a perfect show. There were some things on this show that I was disappointed at, that I didn't like, you know, and that I did question. With the Kenny Omega segment and stuff like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all, but I'm gonna get into that later. But yeah, man, but overall, man, this was a really good show. A really good show. And so yeah. So if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell so you don't miss out. So yeah, this is the AEW Dynamite review on the Ryan Awesome Show for April 28, 2021. And so yeah, we started off the show with a match, and it was Hangman Adam Page versus Brian Cage representing Team Taz. And so yeah, this is a good opening match. And so yeah, at first, Hangman Adam Page was making his entrance first. And so yeah, so when Page was making his entrance, you had the rest of Team Taz. They came out and attacked Page from behind. And so yeah, so they were beating up, ganging up on Page, and then the Dark Order had came out. The whole entire Dark Order came out to fight off Team Taz. And so you had the referees and stuff breaking it up. And so, Cage, he had took advantage of Page. And so yeah, he powerbombed Page on the stage. He powerbombed Page on the stage. what a rhythm right there. And so yeah, he powerbombed him on the stage, and he brought him into the ring. The match had started. He had a belly to belly suplex to Page, and he followed it up with a German suplex to Page, and then Page had kicked out. And then Cage, he had threw Page into the guardrail twice. And so yeah, we had Cage. He had his curls, like he curled up his opponent and he just dropped him with a follow-away slam. So he did that to Page, which is really impressive. Page is not a small dude. Page is not a small dude. So to see Brian Cage hit that move on Adam Hangman Page, that was really impressive. And so yeah, we had kicks and a super kick to Adam Hangman Page. And so yeah, we had a suplex. We had a suplex to Page from outside of the ring, inside of the ring. And so yeah, we had a outside top rope moonsault to Cage. So Page is fighting back. And so yeah, Cage ended up, taking advantage of Page. And so yeah, he had an F5. He had an F5 to Page, and then Page had kick out of the F5. And so right after that, we had Page. We had Brian Cage. He had a power bomb on Adam Hangman Page, and he followed it up with a buckle bomb. And to end the match, we had Brian Cage. He had his finishing move, the drill claw, to Adam Hangman Page to win the match. So Brian Cage wins the match, and that was it. And I was like, I was like, what? I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that Brian Cage beat Adam Hangman Page. Like at first, like I was expecting Page to win because he's the number one contender for the AEW World Championship, and you want Page to, look strong before a title defense. And so, yeah. But then again, you didn't want Brian Cage to lose clean, because Team Taz, they've been booked to lose. They've been losing and losing and losing time and time again. Hobbs had lost last week to Christian. It's just, and oh yeah, and Starks had lost to Page last week. So yeah, so you had to give the Team Taz members a win. You had to give them a win, because they've been losing time and time again. But I don't know what good that's gonna do to Page since he lost to Cage. Will will Cage be the new number one contender? Will he be the new number one contender since he beat Page to become the number one contender? I don't know. But man, but Cage versus Omega, that's not gonna be good. I mean, the match is gonna be good, but it's not gonna be good for Cage because it's a heel versus heel match. And then, Kenny Omega, he can't lose. He cannot lose. And so yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happened next. And so yeah, that was it with the match. Great startup, great opening match to start off the show. And so yeah, that was it with the match. And so right after the match, we had not an interview, but we had like a video of the Elite talking. You had Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and the Good Brothers, and Don Callis and Michael Nakazawa. They were in a limo. Nakazawa was in the driver's seat of the limo, and they were talking about Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, how they didn't appreciate what Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston did to their trailer last week by running into it with a truck and stuff like that. And so yeah, and they were bragging about their success and everything. And they were talking about Kenny Omega becoming the Impact World Champion, the new Impact World Champion. And so yeah, and so Omega, he was saying that I'm not I'm not afraid. Like, we're not afraid of Kingston and Moxley. And so yeah, and then a horn had went off, and so they got scared. The Elite did. They got scared, and then it was a mistake. So Nakazawa, he had accidentally hit the horn, and so he was like, I'm sorry guys, I hit the horn, I'm sorry." And so they were blaming Nakazawa, like, "Dude, Nakazawa, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude?" And then Kenny Omega, he said that, "Kingston, you want me?" Yeah, he said something about Michael Nakazawa. He said, "Kingston, you want me? You're not gonna get me. You're gonna be in the ring with Nakazawa later tonight." And that was it. That was it with the segment. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a tag team match. We had a tag team match. It was Matt and Mike Sydal, the Sydal brothers versus the Young Bucks, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions. That's Matt and Nick Jackson with Don Callis in their corner, who was on commentary. Don Callis was. And so yeah, this is a great match. This is a great match on this show. I probably would have had this open up the show. That's just me. I probably would have had this open up the show. But yeah, great showing from both teams, from the Sydal brothers and the Young Bucks. You know, and with the Young Bucks when they came out, I absolutely love their ring gear. They came out in all black. You know, as they said last week, they got rid of the tassels and everything. They were wearing all black and stuff. And their entrance, I love the entrance too when they had the streamers. They had the streamers, the stuff that what streamers are. Streamers, the stuff that was famous in Japan. They brought that stuff in AEW, and so it was all in the ring and everything. It was all in the ring, and so the Bucks, they made the production crew clean it up, and so yeah, that was a heel move from the Bucks. And so yeah, in this match I could not take notes. I could not take notes in this match, so I've written down as much as I can in this match, so please bear with me. And so yeah, we had the Sydal brothers. They took control of the early parts of the match, and then the Bucks, they tried fighting back, but it wasn't working. Like, literally, it was not working. They tried fighting back, but it wasn't working. And so yeah, we had a super kick to Mike from Matt, and then Matt had took out Matt. Well, Matt Jackson took out Matt Sydal. You have a lot of Matts in this match. And so yeah, so the Bucks, they had took control during a commercial break, picture in picture. And so yeah, so we came back from commercial break. We had a little bit of we had a twin magic. We had a twin magic from the Bucks. So Nick, he was the legal person, and so Nick was down, and so behind the referee back, Matt, he had moved Nick out of the way, and so Matt, he had got on the floor. He had got on the floor face first, and so referee didn't know, and so Matt, he had kipped up, he had got back up, and so the referee in this match, Rick Knox, who has history with the Young Bucks, the Bucks brought him in AEW. The referee didn't do nothing. The referee did not do anything. The referee didn't get Matt out of the ring. He didn't question. He didn't question Matt, saying that, did you make the tag? Did you make the tag? He didn't do that. He didn't do none of that. And so at that point, I was like, is he in cahoots with the Elite? Maybe. And so yeah, we had a double meteora to Matt Jackson from the Sydal brothers. And then, they were both going back and forth. Both of these teams were. And so, yeah, he had tripped up Matt Sydal on the top rope. And so, towards the end of the match, we had, the referee was distracted by one of the Bucks. And so, we had Matt, he had a low blow. He had a low blow to Mike Sydal. And to end the match, we had the BTE trigger to Mike Sydal to win the match. So, the Young Bucks, they win the match. And right after the match, the Bucks, they were celebrating and everything without trying to recover. And so right after that, we had SCU. They interrupted the Bucks, and they had something they wanted to say about the Bucks. They're disappointed in the Bucks.
Do me a favor and please turn this music off. Wow, Frank Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, we're two of the Young Bucks' oldest friends. We don't have security in this building. Do we need it? If we had, Don, you wouldn't be here. Hey, Matt, if you have something to say, now's a perfectly good time to keep it to yourself. Seems there's a lot of change lately. We got the new Young Bucks, new attitudes, new questionable wardrobe decisions. One thing that has not changed is a promise I made last December. I said that the next time CD and I lost as a tag team, we'd be finished as a tag team. Well, we stand here right now, undefeated, #1 contenders, and what we represent is the biggest threat to those tag team titles you've ever faced. But right now, all I am is pissed. All I am is furious because I was looking forward to wrestling my friends, but when I look at you, I don't see my friends. I see entitled, overdressed bitches.
Oh.
Let me tell you something, Matt. This new attitude sucks. And instead of just beating your ass, maybe we should take the one thing that matters the most to you, those titles. And now that we're the #1 contenders, we don't have to wait much longer. When you both find your balls and you sign the dotted line, we're going to take them and we're going to make this company a better place with you assholes out of it.
Oh.
Wow, very well said. Tony, SCU saying what...
And that was it. That was it with the promo from SCU, what they had to say about the Young Bucks. Now, SCU versus the Young Bucks, yes, count me in. That should be a great match, man. The Bucks, man, they have a lot of challenges. They have a lot of teams on this show, a lot of babyface teams that they can, defend their titles against. SCU was one of the teams that I wanted them to face. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. The Jurassic Express, I wanted to see them, compete against the Jurassic Express. There are a lot of tag teams, a lot of babyface tag teams that they could fight against. Oh, yeah, Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. I would love to see a rematch with those two teams. There are a lot of teams that they can fight, man. So yeah, that was it with that. And yeah, and it's gonna be a different match. Didn't they fight before? Didn't the SCU and the Young Bucks fight before? I think they have. But yeah, I'll love to see it. It's gonna be a different match. It's gonna be a different match because the Bucks, they are heels now. So you have a heel Young Bucks versus SCU. So that should be good. Really good match. And so yeah, right after that we had Jade Cargill. She spoke about, last week about the managers, being interested in her and everything. And this is her response to what the managers, were trying to do to her.
Over the past few weeks, every major manager here at AEW is looking to sign me, Jade Cargill. However, there's only one problem. They want a percentage of my money. They want to cut up Jade's pie. And it doesn't work that way. You see, I'm my own boss. I make my own money and I make my own moves. And if they're looking to sign me, they better impress me. Because you better understand, I'm that bitch.
And that was it from Jade Cargill, saying that she is her own boss. And that was it with that. Jade Cargill, I don't know what they're doing with her. Me, I'm kind of iffy. Do she need a manager or not? From the way, the way that she coming off, she don't need one. She don't need one right now. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had a match. It was a one-on-one match. It was Orange Cassidy with Trent. So yeah, so Trent, the ring announcer announced Trent So it's Orange Cassidy with Trent versus Pentagon with Alex Abrahantes. And so yeah, so this match was made last week after Pentagon attacked Orange Cassidy when the Pentagon had a match with Trent last week. And I am confused about this. I'm really confused about this. Pentagon is a heel, right? Is he a heel or a babyface? Is if he a heel, then why is he coming out of the babyface tunnel? If he is a heel, why is he coming out of the babyface tunnel? Shouldn't he be coming out of the heel tunnel? Because he been acting heelish. It's like back and forth. Is he a heel or a babyface? Is he a heel or babyface? When he was feuding with Omega and the Good Brothers, he was a babyface. He was a babyface. And when he was feuding with Cody Rhodes, well, first he feuded with Cody Rhodes, he was a heel. And then he went on to Omega and the Good Brothers. And now with the Best Friends, now he's a heel now. And so so in this match, it was good. We did had a little bit of, foolery, playing around in this match, with the pockets, with Orange Cassidy putting his hands in his pockets, taking the sunshades off and the Cero Miedo thing, what Pentagon does. He threw his glove outside the ring and Abrahantes had caught the glove. And Orange Cassidy had took off his glasses and then threw it outside the ring to Trent. But Trent, he didn't catch it. He dropped it. And so Orange Cassidy hit his most devastating kicks to Pentagon. And then Pentagon hit a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker to Cassidy. And so Penta, he had caught Orange from a tope suicida. This was a nice spot right here. So Penta, he had caught Orange Cassidy in midair from a tope suicida. And he had lifted him up. He lifted him up with one arm. He lifted him up with one arm and then just dropped him. And that was it. That was it with that. So yeah, that was a really nice spot from Pentagon. So Penta, he took control during a commercial break. Picture in picture. And so Penta, he targeted Cassidy's leg. So he was going after the leg. And so we had a diving crossbody to Penta. And then we had Pentagon, he had muscled up Orange Cassidy. So Cassidy, he was going for a DDT. I think a tornado DDT. But Pentagon, he had muscled him up into a brain buster. So that was a nice spot. I love the brain buster, man. And so Cassidy, he had kicked out of that move. And so we had a pump handle sit out driver to Cassidy, and Cassidy had kicked out of the move. And then, Cassidy, at one point, he had put his arm in his pocket, because Pentagon, he was going for an arm breaker, that arm snap that he does. And so Cassidy had put his arm in his pocket. He had put his hands in his pocket to, I guess, break away from the arm lock. And so, we had both of these guys, they were going back and forth with super kicks. And we had Pentagon, he had a Canadian destroyer to Cassidy. And then he tried to go for the cover. And so Cassidy, he ended up, no-selling it. It felt like he no-sold it because he got right back up after the Canadian destroyer. And so he had his finishing move, the beach break to Pentagon. And Pentagon, his shoulder got up. So his shoulder was up. So the count doesn't count. The pinfall doesn't count. And so, we had a corner super kick to Cassidy. And we had a stunt dog millionaire to Penta. And he followed up with a diving DDT to Penta. And so Orange Cassidy hit a beautiful tornado DDT to Penta. And so right after that, we had Abrahantes. He had grabbed the microphone. He tried to distract Orange Cassidy. And then Cassidy ended up taking him out. And so he dropped the microphone. So Abrahantes dropped the microphone. And so Trent, from behind, he had grabbed the microphone. And so referee was distracted and everything. So Trent had handed Cassidy the microphone, and so Cassidy, he had hit his finishing move, the orange punch with the mic. So he had the mic in his hand while he hit the orange punch. So he hit the orange punch to Penta with the mic. So that was the end of the match. So Orange Cassidy won the match, and that was it. And so at that point I was like, dude, it was a must. It was a must win for Orange Cassidy because the Best Friends, man, they are not looking good, man. They are not looking good. They feel like they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything important. So it was a must win for these guys, and Orange Cassidy got the win. And so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D. with Rebel.
We're back here now with Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D. along, of course, with.
What did I tell you? Do I ever lie? Do I ever lie? No. I said I was going to work my way up the rankings, and look what we have here. The doctor is in. Not only am I at the top of the food chain when it comes to merchandise sales, demographic ratings, and bona fide star power,
I am now at the top of the profound, respected, and logical wins-loss rankings. When it comes to our current women's champion, I think it's time we remind everybody why I'm the face of the women's division. Schiavone, yours truly, the number 1, do it, contender, Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D.
And that was it. So Britt Baker, she is coming at the Hikaru Shida in her AEW Women's Championship, and she's the #1 contender. Britt Baker is #1 contender for Hikaru Shida in her AEW Women's Championship, and that title is going right to Britt Baker. Going right to Britt Baker, man. We've seen enough with Shida with the AEW Women's Championship, and she wasn't even on the show tonight. She wasn't even on Dynamite tonight. So, man, Britt Baker as AEW Women's Champion, that'll be best. It'll be best for business. Best for business, having her as the champion right now, man. Give the title to Britt Baker, man. Give it to her, man. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had the Inner Circle. We had the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle Parlay. And so, yeah, we had Tony Schiavone. He introduced the Pinnacle first, and then they came out with personal security guards, and he introduced the Inner Circle. And the Inner Circle, first off, they got led by a motorcycle gang, and so they came out to their theme music, and so they went into the ring. They were face-to-face. Both of these teams were face-to-face. And so, yeah, this is the best thing on the show. This is the best thing on the show. The best thing on the show this parlay was, man.
Which team will get the advantage? Winning the coin toss will have the one-man advantage throughout. Blood.
Spears slapped the coin out of Schiavone's hand.
There's not going to be no damn coin toss. We deserve the advantage because we were lured into this match. So advantage Pinnacle, and in return, a warning. This doesn't end well for you boys. You are looking at 5 men who are willing to bleed and sacrifice everything for each other. I look across this ring and I do not see the same. And when the hell was the last time you even wrestled a match, Sammy?
Ooh.
Are you even ready? Look at me! That guy right there is leading you into very, very deep water, Sammy. And in 1 week, I'm the guy who's gonna step on your head while you're drowning.
Ooh. Sammy grabs the mic.
Spears, I don't believe you. And simply, why should I? Why should I, man? Ever since you came into AEW, you've been a failure.
Ooh.
And actually, Spears, the more I think of it, you were a failure where you used to work too.
Oh, wow. In WWE, it's Ty Dillinger.
And here's the thing. All y'all need to know, May 5th, you're going to fail again, buddy. Because I don't care if it's 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1. You want the damn advantage, you got it. I'll start the damn thing and I'll fight every single one of you. I'll start with the damn popcorn guy. I don't care who it is. I'm going to fight everybody.
So, Sammy.
All right, if I got this right, it looks like the Pinnacle wins the parlay. They're going to have the advantage.
Of course, heels.
May 5th,
Uh-oh.
I'm asking you, man to man, right here, with sincerity.
FTR.
Please do not bring this version of Santana and Ortiz, okay? Blood and Guts, May 5th. That is not the match to bring this soft, complacent Jericho lapdogs that you've been for the past year and a half, because I promise you, with every ounce of my being, if you bring that Santana and that Ortiz, you won't make it out.
Oh.
So next week, it's almost a guarantee. It's almost a guarantee that someone's career, and if we're being honest about it, someone's life is going to be shortened in blood and guts. And I've prepared my family, and I've come to terms with that. But when the door slams shut and that bolt locks, and I'm looking at every single one of you, you're in my world now, and I ain't afraid to die. Ortiz, you got a young son sitting at home, and Santana, you got a beautiful baby girl waiting for you. But Tuesday night, before you leave to fly here to Jacksonville, Florida for Blood and Guts, I want you to grab your kids, and I want you to hold them close, and I want you to hug them and kiss them. But lastly, what I want you to do is get down on one knee, and whisper in their ear a little message, a special message from Uncle Dax.
Oh, wow.
Daddy ain't coming back home.
Dang. When you bring somebody's kids in it, it's personal.
Hey, you know what they're doing. Don't give in. 7 days. 7 days, boys. Y'all gonna be locked in a cage with us. Y'all ever been locked up? Because we have. May 5th, I'm gonna let my hands do the talk.
Uh-oh. Love it, man. Telling you.
It's a parlay. Let's act like gentlemen. And as a gentleman, I'd like to say something to you, Kris. What I would like to say is thank you. Yeah, and I know you've been waiting to hear me say those 2 words for an awfully long time. Hell, you want to hear those 2 words from everybody since the inception of this company, and you have every single right to feel that way, Kris, because without you, there is no AEW.
Right.
You were the top guy. You were the draw. You were the bridge for the Laps fan to come over here and check out AEW. And all the while, you also managed to create the best group in professional wrestling known as the Inner Circle. I'll give it to you. Go ahead. However, Kris, I can't imagine the pressure you must feel. Because let's face it, man, every single time you come out here, if you don't hit a home run, you're taking food out of every single man and woman's mouth in the back. You put the company on the line every single time you come out here. I can't imagine the amount of paranoia, the amount of stress you must have, the restless nights. And by the way, Kris, we can see it every time you come out here. Your eyes are bloodshot red. You look exhausted, Kris.
Ooh.
I guess it's true what they say, heavy lies the crown, but you don't have to worry anymore, Kris, because come next week at Blood and Guts, I'm gonna do the humane thing for you. I'm gonna do you a solid. I'm gonna take off that heavy burden of a crown off your head and place it atop mine, and my family is going to replace the Inner Circle at the mountaintop here in All Elite Wrestling. But don't get it twisted, Kris. I appreciate everything you've done for this company, and that's precisely why when Blood and Guts is all said and done, and I am looking down upon your scarred up, mangled, lifeless body, I will once again utter the 2 words, thank you. Your spot's mine.
You want that spot so bad, MJF does.
You self-righteous, self-gratifying little prick.
Ooh.
How dare you be so entitled to think that you can have somebody's spot just because you want it? That you can inherit a spot like you inherited the trust fund that your mommy and daddy gave you when you were 18 years old. Or maybe you think you can absorb a spot via osmosis. Or maybe it's a big Tetris game that as soon as Jericho goes left, MJF slides right in. It doesn't work that way. You want a spot? You gotta earn it. You said last week that at 25 years old, I was curtain jerking in WCW. And you're damn right I was. And damn proud of it, because that's what led me to where I am today. But what you didn't mention is that 25 years old, I'd already headlined arenas around the world in Japan and Mexico and Germany. And that's another reason why I'm here today, because that's where I learned respect. That's where I got experience and life lessons, and that's where I earned the reputation that put me at the top of this game.
Yeah.
If you want my spot, a good place to start earning it is by beating me and the Inner Circle at Blood and Guts. But you're not going to do that because we are Blood and Guts. No. No. No, 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 no. You're not cutting my promo off.
Uh-oh.
We are Blood and Guts.
Totally trying to cut him off.
You want to talk about a family? This is a family. How long have you known these jackoffs for? 3 months? This family has been part of AEW since day one.
Day one, man.
This man had my back when I was threatened assassination in Abu Dhabi in 2012. These lapdogs are a pack of wild animals that have torn and clawed their way to the top of AEW, and I owe them for that. This man right here, I brought him personally to the Inner Circle, and because of you, he quit. And that's not going to happen again. You are not going to get in the middle of the Inner Circle, and you're not going to beat us at Blood and Guts. You won't make us submit, and you are going to have to kill us to make us surrender. You are going to have to kill us to make us surrender. And when that doesn't happen, we're going to step on you like the pile of crap that you are, wipe our feet on the concrete, and look down at the only spot that you deserve.
Oh. Ooh.
And I'll finish with this. If 1969 was the summer of love, 2021 is going to be the summer of violence and pain for the Pinnacle. And next week, on May 5th, at Blood and Guts, summer starts early for you.
And that was it. That was it. Absolutely the best thing on this show, man. I love everything about this. The promos, the back and forth, everything. Everybody did a great job in their promos. Fiery promo from everybody, man. You know, Blood and Guts next week, man. Me, I would have saved it. I would have saved it for a Double or Nothing, but they have their own show, Blood and Guts. I know why they put it on Dynamite. You know, because they're trying to get a rating, and so yeah, that's the main event for next week. The Blood and Guts, the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle, and who wins? The Pinnacle. The Pinnacle will win. The Pinnacle will win. They have the advantage in the War Games. They have an advantage. And in War Games, the heels, they always get advantage. You know, they always have a person. Like, they have that one person advantage. The heels always does. So, yeah, so the Pinnacle, they will win. You know, and that was it. That was it with the promo, man. Absolutely great stuff. Great stuff from all these guys. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Eddie Kingston. So, yeah, we had Eddie Kingston. He came out to the ring. Michael Nakazawa, he was in the ring. And so, yeah, Kenny Omega earlier said that, you know, Kingston, he has to go through Nakazawa and everything. And so, yeah, Kingston, he didn't want to. He wanted Kenny Omega tonight. And so, yeah, so Kenny Omega, he came out to the ring with Don Callis. You know, Kenny Omega dressed in a suit. And, you know, what I was disappointed at, Kenny Omega, he did not show up with his championships. I was disappointed at that. You know, he didn't show up with the TNA Championship or the Impact Championship or the AEW Championship. I was disappointed that he didn't show up with the gold. But yeah, so yeah, Kenny Omega, he came out, you know, saying that, you know, you're going to go through Nakazawa. And so Nakazawa had attacked Kingston from behind with a laptop. And so Kingston, he ended up fighting back. He hit him with his spinning back fist. And so that was it with that. And so, you know, Kingston was again calling out Omega, like, get in this ring. Like, dude, get in this ring. I'm calling you out. Get in this ring. And so Jon Moxley, you know, so Kenny Omega, he was still running his mouth saying, I'm not going to fight you. And so Jon Moxley had came out. Well, first off, Kenny Omega, he said, you're going to have to go through Brandon Cutler now. And so Jon Moxley, he attacked Brandon Cutler from backstage, you know, and he attacked Kenny Omega. Well, first off, they were about to break, Kingston, he was about to break Nakazawa's ankle. He was about to break his ankle. And so, you know, he was like, give me this match, or I'll break his ankle. And so Kenny Omega, he had no care in the world for Michael Nakazawa. He was like, you know what, if you want to break his ankle, go ahead and break his ankle. I don't care. And so that's when Jon Moxley had came out, you know, because Kenny Omega, he was trying to go away. He was trying to walk away. So Jon Moxley came out and attacked Kenny Omega, brought him into the ring. And, you know, Jon Moxley had cut him, you know, choked him out. And so they had put the chair on Omega's ankle. And so they were about to break Omega's ankle. And so Don Callis was out there. You know, they were both saying that, you know, give us this match, give us this tag team match and stuff like that. And so Don Callis, he was like, I'm gonna make it like I'll try something. I'll try to make it work. It was and it was saying no. It's either yes or no. It's either yes or no. Or if you say no, if you don't give us what we want, we're gonna break his ankle. We're gonna break his ankle. And so Don Callis, he was trying to reason with them, saying that you know, if you break his ankle, you ain't getting no tag team match. You're not gonna get a tag team match. So please just let him go. And so Kingston and Moxley, they were getting annoyed again. Is either yes or no. You better tell us. You better tell us yes or no, or we will break his ankle. And so Callis, he was screaming yes, 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 and let him go, please, let him go, let him go, let him go. And so that was it with that. That was it with that. And so it's gonna be Nakazawa. It's gonna be Nakazawa and Kenny Omega in a tag team match against Moxley and Kingston. And at that point, I was like, huh. I was like, why didn't they just ask for the Young Bucks and the tag team titles? I don't know. I would have just went for the tag team titles, I guess. I don't know, but that's SCU's turn. That's SCU's spot. But if I was Omega and Moxley, if I was Kingston and Moxley, I would have asked for the tag team titles. I would have asked for the Bucks and the tag team titles. That's what I would have done. But yeah, like this stuff. This stuff was goofy, man. It was just absolutely goofy. I was disappointed at this, man. I was disappointed at this segment. I wanted Kenny Omega coming out here flashing all the gold. I wanted him to come out in the middle of the ring talking about how he beat Rich Swann. I wanted to see him tonight with the gold. I wanted to see him with the Impact and the TNA Championship and the AEW Championship. He didn't show up with none of the gold. None of the gold. And so that's what I was disappointed at. They talked about it. They talked about, yeah, he won the Impact World Championship. They mentioned it on commentary, but he didn't show up with the championships. He didn't show up with the championships, and so that's what I was mad about. I was upset about that. Like, dude, come on. And I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to Kenny Omega showing up with the Impact Championships. But none of that stuff happened. None of it happened. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Sammy Guevara. He had showed up during a commercial break, picture in picture. And so he had his cue cards. So we had the return of the cue cards. And so Sammy, he said that he will start Blood and Guts first. He will be the first man to start. And he'll be the first man to have the Pinnacle's blood on his hands. And so that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews Taz. And so, yeah, he interviewed Taz. Taz wanted to, get an interview. And he was talking about, his guys and stuff like that. And so Christian Cage had interrupted Taz.
Taz, you have something you want to say backstage here? Yeah, well, here's the deal. First of all, we just witnessed the FTW World Champion Brian Cage beat the #1 wrestler in the world, Hangman Adam Page. That makes Team Taz #1. And Team Taz has some unfinished business. And that message that I sent to Christian Cage, I don't see. Oh, okay. So he's just going to bow up in here. Here's the deal, man. Last week, Powerhouse Hobbs, he beat your ass from pillar to post. And he made one mistake and you capitalized. Now, you're going to have to deal with somebody else at Team Taz.
You know what? Enough of the games, all right? At one point in time, Taz, you were one of the baddest dudes to ever step foot in that ring. You talked a big game, you backed it up. You beat guys down, you submitted them, and Taz, you made it look easy. Now, present day, you still talk a big game, but the backing up part, not so much. So what did you do? You surrounded yourself with the biggest and best prospects in AEW. And when they find that success that everybody knows they're going to find, you'll be right there. You'll be right there to bask in all those accolades like you did it yourself, just to feed your own damn ego. And now you see a guy like me, retired after 7 years. I represent everything you wish you could do. You wish you could come back. You wish you could, and you didn't, but I did. And now you want to leech off me the same way you leech off Team Taz, but I will not. I will not allow that to happen. So you go ahead. You send Team Taz one by one if you have to, because Taz, I don't believe in win or lose. I believe in win or learn. And last week, Powerhouse Hobbs, he learned a lesson. And Ricky Starks, if he gets in the ring with me, he'll learn a lesson too. And it might be a bitter pill for them to swallow, but someday they're going to realize they're better off for it. And hopefully, before it's too late, they realize they'd be a hell of a lot better off without you.
Dang.
JR, Caliber, let's send it back to you.
See, that was it with that. Nah, they ain't gonna be better off without Taz. Hobbs not, Cage not, Starks, I don't know, Hook not. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, Team Taz, man, they are not looking good, man. They lost time and time again. At least Brian Cage got a win tonight, but Team Taz they are not looking good, man. They are not looking good. And so yeah, so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a women's match. It was Penelope Ford with Kip Sabian in our corner versus Kris Statlander with Orange Cassidy in our corner. And so yeah, there wasn't much to this match, but it was okay. So yeah, we had a power slam to Ford, and we had a big boot to Statlander off of distraction. So Kip Sabian had distracted Kris Statlander, and she got caught with a big boot from Penelope. And so Ford had took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture. And so yeah, we had a Blue Thunder bomb to Ford, and then Ford had kicked out, and she had a German suplex to Statlander. And then we had Kris Statlander, she had her signature move, the Solar Eclipse to Ford, and Ford had kicked out. And Ford, she tried fighting back. She had a spinning back kick to Statlander, and Statlander had kicked out. And to end the match, we had Statlander, she had her finishing move, the Big Bang Theory, to Ford to win the match. So Kris Statlander wins, and that was it. You know. So yeah, best friends, they're looking good tonight. Tonight they are. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had number 10. He spoke about the TNT Championship, his TNT Championship match against Darby Allin, and what it means to him.
To be the one to bring the TNT title back to the Dark Order after someone like Brody had it, that would mean the world to me. That would define my entire career. Brody made the Dark Order as soon as he showed up, but winning the TNT title is what got us over that plateau. Brody has influenced me as a wrestler from the very first day I showed up in AEW. He's essentially the one that got me my shot. Darby Allin and I have been in the ring before, but I was a completely different person. I was not number 10. I was not part of the Dark Order. I was not under the wings of Brody Lee. He gave me the direction, and I'll never forget the day he slid the mask over to me on the table, and he said, "You are one of us." The TNT title, to me, is the title in AEW. That's the title that represents Brody, and he's the reason I'm here. You're looking at the new TNT champion.
So yeah, that was it with 10. He's doing it for Brody Lee, Mr. Brody Lee. The greatest TNT champion of all time is Mr. Brody Lee. And so yeah, so he was doing it for Brody Lee. And so that was the main event tonight. And so yeah, right after this, we had a trios match. And it was the Factory. That's QT Marshall, Nick Comoroto, and Aaron Solow with Anthony Ogogo in their corner. And so yeah, so the Factory, they came out in the Nightmares Family's tour bus. They had stole the tour bus, so they had used that as their entrance. And so yeah, versus the Nightmare Family, Dustin Rhodes, Billy Gunn, and Lee Johnson. And so yeah, this match right here, it was not important to me. It was not important. What happened in the end was probably more important than the match. So yeah, we had, everybody that was brawling outside the ring. Both of these teams, they were going back and forth. The heels that took control during a commercial break. You guessed it, picture in picture. And so we had a hot tag to Lee Johnson. He took out Solow and the rest of the Factory. And we had a Blue Thunder bomb to Solow from Johnson. And we had a corkscrew dive over the top rope from Johnson on the Factory guys. And so, Lee, he was taking control of the match. And so right behind the referee's back, we had Anthony Ogogo. He had hit his finishing move, that gut punch. He had a gut punch to Billy Gunn. Well, he hit it on Lee Johnson first. He hit it on Lee Johnson. And then Billy Gunn, who already had like tape ribs or tape around his abdomen because of the gut punch from last week. And so, yeah. And so QT, he had pinned Lee Johnson, who was the legal person. And so the Factory, they won a match. And so right after the match, we had Comoroto. He attacked Dustin with the bull rope from last week. And so, yeah. So, yeah, the Factory minus QT, they had walked to the back. So QT was left out alone, celebrating and gloating and everything. And so you had Austin and Colton, the other members of the the Nightmare Family. They attacked QT Marshall. And so QT, he ran away from the Gunn brothers. And so, yeah, he was running towards that tour bus. And so, yeah, so the rest of the factory they had came out. They had came out and attacked Colton and Austin. And so QT, he was walking towards the bus. And so, yeah, he was trying to open up the door to the bus. And so at that point, I was like, oh, snap, it's Cody. I could see Cody right there through the window. And the commentary team are like, oh, my gosh, what happened? What is going on? Who is this? And so it was like, dude, it's Cody Rhodes, man. And so he opened the door. Cody Rhodes had attacked QT Marshall from inside of the bus, outside of the bus. And so they were fighting on top of the bus. And so Cody Rhodes, he had locked in a figure four leg lock on QT on top of the truck. Not the truck, on top of the bus. And that was it. So QT had tapped out. It wasn't a match. And so they made it into a match next week for Blood and Guts. So, yeah, this match right here, this match came out of nowhere, man. This match came out of nowhere, man. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. And I'm guessing QT Marshall will win. Probably not. Cody is going to win. Cody is going to win. But, man, Cody, he went too much, man. He went too much. He needs to start putting more people over. He's putting people over before, but he needs to put more people over. Cody can take a loss. He can take a loss. And QT, I think QT, he needs to win. He needs to win more than Cody. And then he lost to him last time. He lost to him in that exhibition match. So QT, he needs to win. He needs to win. He got his factory guys. He got his stable with the factory. So it's a must. It's a must for this guy to win a match. Because this guy looked at as a loser. And so, yeah, that was it. And that's the match for next week for Blood and Guts. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Miro. He was backstage. They showed a video of Miro and Kip Sabian. They were backstage. And so Kip Sabian had went into the locker room. He saw Miro. Kip Sabian was trying to explain himself on why he been ducking Miro and everything. Because Miro was looking for Kip Sabian. And Kip Sabian been avoiding him and everything. And so, yeah, Miro, he attacked Kip Sabian, beating him down, threw him into a wall, and then threw him into a locker and stuff like that, yelling at him, saying, "Where have you been? Where have you been?" And so right after that, he has put his arm in the door, and he has slammed the door on his arm. And so Kip Sabian, he was yelling in pain and everything. And then Miro, he hugged Kip Sabian, and he was like, "Shh, shh, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you," and stuff like that. It was funny, man. It was funny. But, yeah, I'm glad he's done with Kip Sabian. Glad he's done with Kip Sabian. Now he needs to get some wins. Miro needs to get some wins. And, yeah, man, that's it. That's all he needs. He needs some wins. Give him some wins and send him after a championship. And so, yeah, that was it with that, with the Miro and Kip Sabian stuff. And so, yeah, for next week's show for Blood and Guts, we have... So it's going to be Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson in his corner versus QT Marshall with the factory in his corner. That's Anthony Ogogo, Aaron Solow, and Nick Comoroto. That's in Blood and Guts next week. And also we have a tag team match. We have a tag team match, and it will be Michael Nakazawa and Kenny by God Omega, the AEW World Champion, and a new Impact World Champion and a AAA Mega Champion, Kenny by God Omega, with Don Callis in their corner versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. So I'm guessing Michael Nakazawa will take the pinfall. And right after that, we have Wednesday. We have Wednesday on May 12th. So that's the next couple of weeks. So on May 12th, we have Jon Moxley. He will be defending his IWGP United States Championship against Yuji Nagata from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that's on May 12th. And then we have Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D. with Rebel next week. So Britt Baker, she'll be in action next week at Blood and Guts. And then we have a 4-way tag team eliminator match. So we have SCU, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus Jurassic Express. And we have the Varsity Blondes. That's Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. And we have the Acclaim, Max Caster and Anthony Bowen. So that's next week at Blood and Guts. And so, yeah, right after that, we had the TNT Championship match, which was the best match on the show. The best match on the show. Absolutely love this match and the story behind this match. 10 doing it for Brody. And, Darby Allin doing whatever it takes to win the match. And so, yeah. So, yeah, we had a shoulder tackle to Darby. And then Darby, at one point, he had targeted Ten's leg, his brace leg. The leg that have a brace on it, which is a smart move. Because Ten is a big guy. He's a bigger guy than Darby Allin. So the smaller guy, he needs to go after a body part, which is the leg or the arm, whatever you want to do. And so yeah, we had 10. He had caught Darby Allin in midair with a shoulder tackle, and then 10 had took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture. And so yeah, we had a spine buster to Darby, and then he followed that up with a one-handed powerbomb to Darby Allin, and Allin had kicked out. And then Darby, he tried to fight back. He had a stunt dog millionaire to 10. And then Darby, he locked in the Fujiwara armbar to 10. And then 10 tried to fight out of it. And then Darby Allin locked in the Fujiwara armbar again. And then Darby, at that point he was targeting 10's arm, which is another smart move. At first he targeted the leg, and now he's targeting the arm. So that's very smart fighting by Darby Allin. And so yeah, we had an outside senton bomb to 5 and 10 from Darby Allin. And then we had Sting, at one point he stared off the Dark Order. He tried to stop the Dark Order from, helping up number 10. He don't want nothing to happen in the match. And so right after that, we had Ethan Page. He had came out of nowhere and just threw Darby Allin into the turn post, in a ring post. And so, right after that, you had the Dark Order, telling 10 to, hey, capitalize on this, capitalize on it. 10 at first, he didn't want to capitalize on it. He did not want to capitalize on it, which is a mistake. Go ahead and capitalize on it. It's not your fault. Go ahead and capitalize on it. And so that's what the Dark Order was telling him. Go ahead and capitalize on it. And so, yeah, we had 10. He had a wheelbarrow German suplex, which was a nice spot to Darby Allin. And so Darby, at one point, he ripped that 10's mask in the eye area. So that's another smart move by Darby Allin. Doing whatever it takes to win a match. Like when you can't fight anymore, go after the eyes, man. Go after the mask or go after the eyes. And Darby Allin, he did that, man. Smart move by Darby Allin. And so, yeah, so 10, he had caught Darby with a full Nelson. The full Nelson or the hurt lock or the master lock, whatever you want to call it. He locked it in on Darby Allin. And so, yeah, Darby Allin, he used 10's submission move against him. And so Darby, he used the submission move against him by using a roll-up against it. So he used 10's force against him by rolling up, rolling up 10 while he was in the full Nelson. And so Darby Allin, he wins the match by a roll-up. So Darby Allin wins the match and is still the TNT champion. And so, yeah, and so right after the match, we had 10 and Darby. They were embracing each other, hugging each other and stuff. And then Darby, he had took off 10's bracelet of Brody. He had a armband that said Brody. And so Darby had took the armband and just raised it up in the air, showing respect to Mr. Brody Lee. And so right after that, we had number 10. He had left the ring, went to the back. And so right after that, we had Ethan Page again try to attack Darby Allin, but Scorpio Sky had came out of nowhere, dressed in the hood. He chop blocked Sting and took out Sting. So Darby Allin, so Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, they took out Sting and Darby Allin. And so Scorpio Sky, he had locked in his heel hook submission move to Sting. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Lance Archer and number 10 had came out to save Darby Allin and Sting. At that point, I was like, dude, what took them so long? 10 was just out there, so why didn't he just come out there right after he left? I didn't know, man. I did not know. And that was it. So they chased off Page and Sky. They chased off Page and Sky, and that was it. I don't know. I don't know what's their deal. I don't know what's their deal with Darby Allin and Sting. I know what Sky's deal was. Scorpio Sky. They had a match and he lost to Darby Allin. But Ethan Page, what does Ethan Page have to do with Sting and Darby Allin? I don't know, man. It's like with Scorpio Sky, man. Scorpio Sky, like at first, like dude, I don't even understand the pairing, like the team Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. At first, I thought they were pushing him as a single star, as a heel, because Scorpio Sky, he did turn heel against Darby Allin in that TNT Championship match that they had a while back. And now they put him in a tag team. They broke him away from SCU just to put him in another tag team. Like, dude, what are they doing? What are they doing with him? But yeah, that was it. That was it with the show. That was it with the main event. The main event was the best match on the show. The best match on the show. The Inner Circle and that Pinnacle stuff was the best moment on the show. Love the tag team match with the Bucks and the Sydal brothers. It was a good show. It was a really good show. It wasn't a perfect show. I was really disappointed that Kenny Omega did not show up with the Impact World Championship that he won at Rebellion. I was disappointed at that. But he might you know, Impact come on Thursday, so he might show up on Impact with the titles. Why didn't he just show up on Dynamite with the titles? But you want to show up on Impact with the title? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But yeah, that was it with Dynamite. You know, really good show. And that was it. That was it with the review for AEW Dynamite for April 28, 2021 on D Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button is a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of AEW Dynamite. And share this video, man. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across. And if you missed my last week's review, of AEW Dynamite, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. And the link to that video will be down below, down in the description. So click on this video or click down the link below in the description if you missed the video. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys for Thursday for Impact Wrestling. Hopefully, we'll see Kenny Omega with all the gold on Impact. But he should have showed up on Dynamite with the gold. But yeah, so that was it. See you guys for Impact Wrestling for Thursday. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you, man. And this has been The Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.